Okay, welcome back guys. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the top 10 traits of elite DM setters and how to spot low-level setters which are costing your business a lot of money and a lot of time. So the first thing, the mistake most coaches make, the VA disguised as a setter. Coaches hire virtual assistants who have sent DMs before and call themselves setters. It's one of the most expensive hiring mistakes in the coaching industry, and it's far more common than you'd think. Just because someone has done outreach doesn't make them a setter. Copy pasting templates is not setting. Answering questions is not setting either. So you should know the difference between a VA following instructions, they execute tasks, they respond, they comply, they do not think strategically about revenue, they just do what they're supposed to do as a VA. An elite setter creates revenue. They think like a salesperson. They lead conversations. They qualify prospects and they protect your brand and they protect your calendar every day. So traits 1 to 3 is a foundation of elite setting. So number 1 is sales psychology. Elite setters understand every conversation is moving someone through a buying journey. They leverage trust, curiosity, emotional triggers, authority, and risk reversal, selling without ever sounding like they're selling. Also, they do invisible qualification. Weak setters interrogate. Elite setters make qualification feel natural, like a conversation. By the time they ask about budget or urgency or decision making, the prospect actually wants to give you these answers. Conversation control. A poor setter answers questions. An elite setter leads, controlling direction, pace, emotional state, curiosity, and momentum. If your prospects keep going cold, your setter isn't leading. And a good setter knows how to lead a conversation. So the red flag is, I've done cold outreach, which basically people think they're a setter. This almost always means copy pasting templates with no strategic intent. A DM setting is not about copy and pasting. Traits 4 to 5, adaptability and emotional intelligence, knowing when to ditch the script. Beginners rely on scripts, VAs rely on scripts, professionals rely on principles. Elite setters understand why every message exists, what emotion it creates, and what outcome it produces. That understanding allows them to adapt naturally, making every conversation feel human, not automated. The script is a starting point. Mastery is knowing when to leave that script behind. And number 5 is creating emotional momentum. Booking is not a logical decision, it's an emotional one. Elite setters consistently increase certainty, excitement, urgency, and trust across the arc of the conversation. So, all across the conversation, the setter is increasing trust, increasing certainty, increasing excitement, increasing urgency across the conversation. The most telling sign of this skill, bad setters spend time handling objections. Elite setters structure the conversation so objections never even need to appear. They just naturally are overwhelmed by the excitement, the urgency, and the certainty in what you do. Trait 6 and 7, the strategic and data layer. Number 6 is think like a sales manager. Elite setters are constantly diagnosing the system. They ask, why did booking drop? Why did the bookings drop? Why are ghost ratings, why are ghost rates rising? Why are reply speeds slowing? An average setters work in the system. Elite setters improve the system. Number 7 is data driven by exact data. Top setters know their numbers approximately. Don't know their numbers approximately. They know their numbers exactly. Reply rate, qualification rate, booking rate, show up rate, close rate, pipeline velocity, revenue generated. If a setter can't recite their KPIs without hesitation, they're not elite level. So 8 core KPIs. Every elite setter tracks these daily and weekly and monthly without exception. 100% data ownership. Elite setters know their exact numbers, no approximations. 0 acceptable blind spots. An elite setter has no metric they cannot explain or account for. They know every step of the way. So traits 8 to 10. What separates the best from everyone? Number one is handle objections before they are raised. The average setter says, we can discuss that on the call. An elite setter structures the entire conversation so prospects arrive on the call already believing, this coach understands me. This offer solves my problem and this call is worth my time. That's why elite setters drive both show rates and booking rates simultaneously. 2. Protect brand reputation at every step. Poor setters chase the booking. Elite setters protect the calendar and protect the positioning. They never pressure, spam, argue, over message, or create compliance issues. Every single DM is an extension of your brand, and every interaction should increase your perceived authority, not just generate another appointment. Number 3 is to think like a business owner. This is the ultimate separator. Most setters ask, how do I book another call? Elite setters ask, how do I build a predictable acquisition machine? They understand the SOPs, the quality, the QA processes, onboarding, reporting, scaling, and process optimization. That's why the best setters become setter managers, acquisition directors, and client acquisition consultants, because the best setters understand the entire system. How to spot a fake DM setter. What they say is, I've done cold outreach, I've been a VA for 3 years, I'm good at customer service, I answer DMs, I work with a lot of coaches. What they can't explain is when you press a fake setter beyond surface level claims, they have no answers. They cannot articulate booking psychology, qualification frameworks, conversation control techniques, KPI tracking and optimization, pipeline metrics or revenue attribution, team management or process improvement. They're assistants wearing a setter's title. Don't let their vocabulary fool you. The questions below will reveal the truth immediately. So, how to spot an elite setter in an interview? Don't ask about experience, ask questions that reveal thinking, diagnosis, and frameworks. Elite candidates don't recite tactics, they reason through systems. Number 1 is qualification with friction. Walk me through how you qualify someone without making it feel like an interview. Okay, then they should be able to walk you through exactly. Number 2, a prospect goes cold after you sent them 3 replies. Or after 3 replies, give me 5 possible reasons and what you do first. So give me 5 reasons why you think they've gone cold and what you would do as a response to that. Next is booking rate drop. Your booking rates drop from 42% to 29% over 2 weeks. What do you investigate first? If you ask them that, if they're a bad setter, they can't tell you. If they're a good setter, they should tell you. Number 4 is same reply, different booking. 2 setters have identical reply rates, but different booking rates. What could be causing that? And if they're a good setter, they should be able to give you a good example. So more interview questions that reveal elite thinking. Walk me through a conversation you're most proud of and explain why every message was sent. This reveals their strategic intent, not just their execution. Also, brand versus volume tension. How do you balance more booking calls with protecting a premium brand? Poor setters prioritize the volume. Elite setters prioritize positioning and protecting the calendar while increasing the volume. The low-level setters only go for high volume, right? KPI fluency. What KPIs do you track daily, weekly, and monthly? Elite setters know how to answer this without hesitation. Fake setters or low-level setters fumble or speak in vague generalities. So the bottom line is, elite setters don't just know what to do, they understand why it works and they can prove it. So you should hire for thinking. Tactics can be taught, frameworks, diagnostic reasoning, and sales psychology cannot be faked in a well-structured interview. Test their thinking, don't look at their CV. Also, demand data fluency. Every elite setter knows their numbers exactly. If a candidate can't tell you their booking rates, their show-up rates, and pipeline velocity on demand move on. They should know their numbers. And also protect your brand. Every DM sent is your brand in action. Hire setters who understand positioning, protecting the calendar, not just prospecting and volume. The wrong hire doesn't just miss bookings, they damage your reputation. And remember, protecting your calendar is one of the most important things a DM setter can do, because low-level setters go for volume, they try and book as many people as possible, but what you really need is someone who protects your calendar and diligently and stringently disqualifies people from booking a call. Low-level setters try to book everyone on the call by asking questions that the prospect will just reply yes, 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 and then they'll say, oh, you look like a good fit, let's get you on a call. But really they're not a good fit. You need a setter who is elite level, who tries to make it difficult for someone to book a call, because by then, after all that stringent disqualifying, if the prospect still stands and they're still ready to get on a call, then you're going to have a calendar full of highly qualified, high intent, ready to buy prospects. So if you want help putting that together and building that system, check out apexsetting.com. It's my website. We basically recruit, train, manage setters and build outbound DM setting systems to basically turn your leads into clients, into book calls. See you in the next video.